Hello everyone. Welcome to week 3 of our Color Our World summer library program. And this week we're coloring our world with music. We're learning about how music colors our world. You might enjoy singing, or maybe you play an instrument. You could whistle, you can snap your fingers, you can stomp your feet. There are many ways that you can participate in music. Maybe you enjoy listening to reggae or jazz or classical music or some other type of music. Maybe you don't know much about different types of music, so this could be a week that maybe you explore that and learn more about music. But there are many ways that we can participate in music and enjoy it. This week later in the week, we'll be making some homemade musical instruments, and there are things you can do at home very easily. One thing is to just put some gravel in an empty water bottle, and it makes a percussion instrument, something that you could shake along with music that you're listening to. So this week, as we're thinking about music, we have some fun stories to share with you, and we invite you to attend our programs at Coffeyville on Mondays, Oakland on Wednesdays, both at 1:30 in the afternoon. And then on Thursdays at Coffeyville, we have something called Thrilling Thursdays, where we make things. And this week, we're going to be making musical instruments. So we invite you to enjoy coloring your world with music this week. Come along with us. This story is Loud Mouse, written by Cara, Menzel, and Idina Menzel. They're sisters, and Idina is a singer on Broadway. They wrote this story, Loud Mouse, how a little mouse found her big voice. Let's see what happens in it. Loud Mouse by Cara Menzel and Idina Menzel. Illustrated by Jacqueline Sinquit by Disney Hyperion Books. Dee loved to sing. She sang during her morning yoga. She sang while she practiced her math facts. She sang while running the bath for her little sister, Cara Lee. The simple feeling of air in her lungs and her voice in the world made her happy. With my tail in my hand, my whiskers are proud. I sing it big, I sing it la 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 loud. She would sing to herself every day. Dee usually sang to herself. And you can see her singing here, out by the lake, at night, on the way to school. Everywhere she's going, she's singing. But today would be different. On her way to school, Dee sang by the towering evergreens. She sang as she passed the bright buttercups. She sang next to the humble anthill. Yesterday, Miss Pink said, "Bring something that symbolizes what you like to do." Miss Pink had a fondness for big words. "Dream big, please," she says. So today, Simone brought her soccer ball. Manny brought his drum. Wren brought a marker and made everyone watch him draw a detailed picture of the International Space Station. When it was Dee's turn, she stood up, empty-pawed. Miss Pink looked confused. "Dee, did you bring something for us?" she asked. "I brought a song," Dee said. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath. With my tail in my hand, my whiskers out proud, I sing it big, I sing it la 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 loud. Dee's voice was la 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 loud, what Miss Pink would call resounding. Dee's voice made construction paper flap on the bulletin boards. It made Simone's bangs blow off of her face. It stopped Principal Hummingbird short in the hall. Can you see Principal Hummingbird out there in the hall? Dee's voice was strong and striking, but also comforting, like a cozy fire in wintertime. Her voice was colorful, like the ripest berries in springtime. Dee felt her voice filling the room and everyone in it, the way blue fills the sky. Then something strange happened. Dee started to grow bigger, so big She could see the patch of silver on top of Miss Pink's head. So big she accidentally erased some of Wren's drawing with her butt. By the time Dee's song was over, she wasn't a little mouse anymore. She was a big, big, big mouse. What Miss Pink would call an enormous mouse. Look how much bigger she is. Spectacular, said Miss Pink, and the whole class started to clap, even Wren. Tip-top, said Principal Hummingbird. Principal Hummingbird had a fondness for short words. Nothing like this had ever happened to Dee before. She needed a bigger chair. At first, she felt special, like a queen on her very own throne. But at snack time, she started to feel lonely. She couldn't sit at the table with the other children because she had gotten so big. In music, the class was so excited for Mr. Dimple to hear Dee sing. Fortissimo, he said. Mr. Dimple had a fondness for Italian words. But later he asked her to sing more softly, so her voice would blend in with the chorus. And in PE, when the class practiced their dance routine, it was cool that Dee got to stand in the middle, but it was really obvious when she made mistakes. At recess, Dee was finally big enough to play tetherball with the Badgers, but then, look out! Her shout blew 2 kindergartners into the prickly potentilla bushes. Oh my goodness. She was so loud she knocked them over. At the end of the day, the joy Dee had felt earlier faded, and she could fit once again into her usual chair. She'd gotten smaller again. Dee walked home confused, wondering if singing for her class had been a good idea after all. She was afraid to sing again, afraid to change, and she began to cry. Dee cried past the humble anthill. She cried as she passed the bright buttercups, and she cried as she passed the towering evergreens. When Dee got home, Carolee noticed one of her big sister's soggy whiskers. What's the matter, Dee? She asked. I think I have to stop singing, Dee told her. But why? Dee sighed, because when I sang for my class, I got really big and loud, and things changed. You've always been big and loud to me, Carolee said. Their mother stepped in, and Dee climbed into her arms, grateful she would always be able to do so. How did you feel when you sang today? Her mother asked. Like me. Like the best me I've ever been. Carolee quickly joined Dee in their mother's arms. I mean, who else would you be? She said. That night, the 2 sisters snuggled together, their tiny noses cold in the night air. Do you think a star could choose not to shine? Carolee asked. Dee thought about this for a moment. I hope not, she said. By recess the next day, Dee was her big self again. She sang as she ran on the wonder wheel, and in art she sang as she painted the wall mural. But best of all, in the school concert that night, she had a solo. With a full heart, Dee sang for her friends and their families. With my tail in my hand, my whiskers out proud, I sing it big and I sing it la 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 loud. Then something even stranger started to happen, and it was big. Wow, whoa, bravissimo, unprecedented. They all stood up and gave her a standing ovation because her singing was so wonderful. The end. I hope you've enjoyed the book Loud Mouse. This book is about music that is made in our own state of Mississippi, in the Mississippi Delta. And the name of the book is Sippy Sue and the Cool Cat Blues. It's written by Beth Greenway and illustrated by Jamie Meckel Tableson. There's no other cat around who knows the blues like Sippy Sue. She plays percussion with her paws, tap, tap, tapping along the trash can tops. She pounces to the rhythm of the rain, the pitter-patter of rooftop drops, Those other cats might laugh, but it just won't stop Sippy Sue. She knows how to jump, jive, and jam in this terrific tale. Sippy Sue and the Cool Cat Blues by Beth Greenway, illustrated by Jamie Meckel Tableson, published by Pelican Publishing Company. Let's see what happens. So this is a picture from the Mississippi Delta, Cool Cats Lounge. Let's see what happens with Sippy Sue. Sippy Sue's a juke joint cat. She roams the Delta town. This cat is cool and loves to groove while raindrops splatter down. The other cats make fun and laugh as Sippy Sue digs the sound of pitter-patter on the sill. A drip, drip, dripping that's so chill. A plop, plop, plopping jive until the rain begins to pound. Sippy slips beneath a crate and makes a sleepy wish. She dreams of licking bowls of cream or munching fresh-caught fish. The milkman sets his bottles up, the butcher sets his mat, the clink, clink, clinking fills the street, a chop, chop, chopping happening beat, as Sippy nabs a tasty treat beneath the cries of "Scat, cat!" Sippy struts across the docks, big rivers rolling slow. This is a riverboat on the Mississippi River. She jumps and lands on garbage cans, all standing in a row. A bang, a clang, the trash can lids are spinning out of sight. The tap, tap, tapping pile of tin, a bop, bop, bopping side of bin. A bow, wow bark adds to the din as river birds take flight. Sippy splits beneath a fence and races past car lights. She hears a note, a plunk, a pluck that's strummed together just right. She's going back to the Cool Cats Lounge. The other cats are gathered too, along with Sippy Sue. Harmonicas just never stop as guitars play with smoking chops, while Sippy Sue shakes her tail and hops to the crazy Cool Cat beats. There's Sippy Sue, the Cool Cats Lounge. This book is about the blues that began in the Delta, the Mississippi Delta, and it's about born in the beginning of the 1900s. The Delta blues grew up in the juke joints of Mississippi. The music is the poetry of hard times. It can be played with an old harmonica or a cigar box guitar. Even the names of some of its most famous performers are poetic. Sun House, Muddy Waters, and Howling Wolf. As records were made, the blues became popular across the country and the world. One day, a young man from Tupelo recorded one of the blues songs, That's All Right, and that young man was Elvis Presley, who became a very famous rock and roll singer. So, this is just a very neat story about how the Delta blues started in our own Mississippi Delta. I hope you enjoyed it and will learn to make some of your own beats.